Hello, lit and comp friends. Okay, so you are moving on to body paragraph B, and so I just wanted to give you some information before you get going on that. Number one, I edited almost everyone's body paragraph A, if you submitted that on time, and gave you feedback. It's over on the side in private comments, so you should read through it. And you should make the changes, and then you should copy and paste the paragraph after you have made the changes into the document for today. So today / tomorrow, whatever day you want to work on it is fine with me, is the day for body paragraph B. So some important things that I wanted to let you know is when you submit body paragraph A, when you submit body paragraph B, you should paste body paragraph A in front of body paragraph B. Okay, so when you submit it to me for this assignment, you will have A and B together. A with the changes already made, and then your rough draft of B. When I say rough draft, don't just, throw something together. Do it like it's a final draft, include your in-text citations and stuff like that. So, all right, after reading through many of them, I wanted to give you some feedback overall that I saw. First of all, make sure, like I said, that you read the private comments that I made, because that's letting you know specifically about your paragraph, what things need to change. I put things in there like you need a comma here, use a semicolon instead of a comma there, maybe a misspelling of a word, maybe an apostrophe that's needed in a contraction, yada, yada, huda, hada. But I also said things like, don't just drop a quote. So if I put that and you're like, I don't know what that means. All right, what it means is you can't just take, like, you already went through, well, you should have gone through articles 1, 2, and 3, and you should have pulled out direct quotes from those and a stat. So in each body paragraph, I'm looking for an in-text citation. You're going to need three direct quotes and 3 either, a paraphrase or a stat. You can paraphrase your stat. That's fine too. But you want to utilize the information that you pulled out of it that you said was important. Okay. So you can't just drop a quote. So if there is a line right from the article that says, NBA players put in an average of 6.75 hours of practice per day, excluding Sundays. If that information came right from there, you can't just drop that in as a sentence. You can't end the sentence before that with a period and then quote, NBA players 7.5 hours per week, excluding Sundays, period, end quote, done. Move on to the next sentence. You can't do that. That's called dropping a quote, and it's not acceptable. So you need to say something like, let's say that the article that I read about the NBA was written by Al Schlesinger, and let's say that it's an online article and it doesn't have any page numbers. So in that case, I would say, according to NBA officials, comma, then I put my quote, NBA players 7.5 hours per day, excluding weekends, quote, no period there, okay? And then in parentheses, after the quote, I put down Schlesinger. Now, if I got the information from a book, I would have to put the page number. If there's page numbers available, you have to put them. It doesn't matter if it's a direct quote or if you paraphrased it, which paraphrase just means you put the information in your own words, but you did not know this before writing it. This isn't like just general information that everybody knows. You got it from a source, and you can't just be like, yeah, I just knew that. If you knew it because you read it, you have to cite the source. And you have to put the page number if there is a page number available. Now, some of you have run into the issue that you do not have an author. There are some websites, even reputable websites, that don't have one specific author. And so if that is the case, then in parentheses, after your quote or paraphrase or whatever, in parentheses, you will put the title of the article in quotation marks. So it goes parenthesis, quotation mark, title, quotation mark, parentheses, and then the period goes after that. So don't just drop it. Put in according to blah, 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 comma, and then your quote or your paraphrased information with the citation after it. Don't just drop it in there like it's its own sentence, because that's not acceptable. All right. What else? Okay, the next thing is, I already said that about using page numbers if they're available. It doesn't matter if it's a quote, if it's paraphrase, or if it's a stat. If you have a page number, so like when you talk about your book, you have to have the page number. Author, page number, no comma. It's just author, space, page number. And that would go in parentheses right after the information, but before the period. Okay, so the period goes after the citation, that last parentheses, and then your period. All right. Don't forget your transitions. Remember that this is an 11-sentence Melcon, which, by the way, some of you did not follow the Melcon format and or did not use 11 sentences. I'm actually counting them. So make sure that you have 11 sentence minimum. Can you have a little more? Yes. I don't want 47. Okay. 11 to 15. Max it at 15. Okay. If you're going to max it at 15. So 11 sentence minimum, and that is the Melcon format. MELL con. Remember, M stands for main idea, E for example, LL for two links. The links give the details about your example, and those should all tie back to the main idea. All right. So don't forget your transitions. They should come before each example. So to begin with, comma, la 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 la, example number 1, and then your two links. Furthermore, comma, so furthermore would be a transition to your second example, blah, 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 two links, and then finally, comma, blah, 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 mm-hmm. And then your concluding sentence, this is important. First of all, it needs a transition. So you could say in conclusion, but then the second job of your concluding sentence is that you have to not only wrap up the point from the paragraph you are on, but also introduce briefly to the next one. So again, if I was writing about my kids, and my 3 children were my 3 body paragraphs, which would be Nehemiah, Danny, and Carter. So if I just wrote a whole paragraph on Nehemiah and now I'm transferring to my next paragraph, which is Danny, my concluding sentence would sound something like this. In conclusion, while Nehemiah hones creative skills of the arts, comma, Danny is more athletic, period. So that's my transition sentence. Notice it had a transitional phrase in front of it, in conclusion. It wrapped up the idea about Nehemiah, and then it moved us on to what's coming in the next body paragraph, which is Danny. So check your concluding sentence and make sure you do all of that. All right. 2 more things. You need 2 in-text citations per body paragraph. Now, I know I've said this like 500 times, but I'm telling you right now, some people didn't do it in their first body paragraph. You need them. If you turn in your final paper, you write the whole thing, 5 paragraphs, 11 sentences per body paragraph, and your short 4-sentence intro and conclusion, maybe a little bit longer for those of you who are like really trying to prepare for writing next year, writing in college, yada, yada. And you don't have in-text citations, you're getting an incomplete on that. And I will not even grade it until you have your in-text citations and eventually your works cited page. They are required for a research paper. So if you don't do them, I'm not going to grade your paper. I will continue to give you feedback, but you will have an incomplete, which remember eventually turns into an F. So I'm not grading it until you have 2 in-text citations correctly done in each body paragraph. So if you have questions about that, email me. Email me 15 times a day. Somebody in each of my classes has been emailing me, I don't know, really probably like 3 times a day. That's fine. Please do. Even if all of you have questions, please. If you don't have questions, that means you already know how to do this. So what's the point of me teaching it? This should be difficult. It should be new. You should have questions. So please email me. That's what I'm here for. All right. And then last but not least, don't forget about agreement. Some people are starting off in the singular and then moving to the plural. And some of you are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So let me give you an example. A student today in one of the things I was reading wrote, if one person does this, then they will do this. Okay, well, one person is singular, they is plural. So if one person does this, then he or she will. And I know you're thinking that sounds awkward, but that is correct. And this is a formal research paper. So you have to make sure if it starts off singular, it stays singular. If it starts off plural, it stays plural. So you could say, if people did this, then they would blah, 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 blah. But don't say if one person, then they. One person is not a they. Okay? So, all right, I hope that helps. Like I said, by Friday night, I will expect you to turn in the edited version of body paragraph A right before body paragraph B, the new one that you're writing. And I will be looking to see that that concluding sentence from body paragraph A transitions us into B that I will be reading afresh, and that the concluding sentence for body paragraph B prepares me for next week, Monday's assignment, which is body paragraph C. All right. So if you have questions, please let me know. Don't forget that when you get your body paragraph A back, you've got to unsubmit, make your changes, copy that paragraph, and then paste it into your new assignment that will be located right before body paragraph B. All right. I mean, that's for today. Did I say tomorrow? Either today or tomorrow, whenever you choose to turn that in, before Friday ends. All right, 11:59, homie cheese slice. I'm gonna start correcting those on Saturday. Okay, take care. I hope you're staying safe, blah, 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 and that all is going well for you. I miss you guys, and I really hope that you're doing well. I want you to pass the 2 things that you need, regardless of your current grade, regardless of your term 3 grade, that you are required to turn in or you will not pass this class, are finishing your book. And you have to summarize it for me because I'm not just going to believe you if you say, oh yeah, I'm done. And then writing this research paper complete with in-text citations and a works cited page. Bye, friends.